don't stop them, or if we didn't stop them, or if we didn't start, they've been decimated. But if we didn't do what we're doing right now, you would have had a nuclear war, and they would have taken out many countries, because you know what? They're sick people. They're mentally ill, sick people. They're angry. They're crazy. They're sick. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, everyone.
President Trump is continuing to make some of the most dramatic statements of this conflict, and tonight he went further than he has before. Let's go through what he said. Trump addressed the central question many have been asking: why did the United States strike first? His answer was direct. Intelligence indicated Iran was preparing to launch attacks, not just against Israel, but potentially against multiple countries. He said missiles had been aimed at several nations for some time, creating what he described as an immediate and serious threat. The United States, he argued, had no choice but to act before that threat became a reality. Watch this clip.
A situation where we were going to be attacked. They were getting ready to attack Israel. They were getting ready to attack others. You're seeing that right now. And a lot of those missiles that are hitting in, those are stationary. Those were aimed there for a long period of time at these other countries. So I think I was right about that. We attacked first. And if we didn't, it could have been, you know, look, we're really decimating them. They're being decimated. And if we didn't, and by the way, we have massive amounts of ammunition. We have the high end. A lot of it was given away stupidly by Biden, very stupidly, for free. And I'm all for Ukraine, but they gave away a lot. As you know, when I give away ammunition, everybody pays for it. The European Union's paying for it. Then they can do what they want with it, but they are giving it, let's say, to Ukraine, and it's okay. But we gave away a lot of high end, but we have plenty. But we have unlimited middle and upper ammunition, which is really what we're using in this war. And we have really an unlimited supply. We also have a lot of the very high end stored in different countries throughout the world. We're literally storing it there, which is actually something that I insisted on in my first term. I rebuilt the military in my first term. The military is great. Unbelievable amount of ammunition, or munitions, as they say, we've given away to, you know, the Wall Street Journal incorrectly covered the story when they said that it was given away to the Middle East. Not to the Middle East, it was given away to Ukraine. Very little was given to the Middle East. The Middle East would buy a lot, and some of the nations, because they're rich, they have a lot, but it was given away to Ukraine. And it just should have been done. Look, it's a war that should have never happened. If I were president, that war would have never happened. But we have a tremendous amount of munitions, ammunition at the upper level, middle and upper level, all of which is really powerful stuff.
He described the military response as overwhelming. American forces, he said, are hitting hard and have massive reserves of ammunition to sustain operations as long as necessary. He did not frame this as a difficult decision. In his words, it was simply the right move. Watch this clip.
See what happens. A lot of people are coming forward. A lot of the people you would least suspect want to quit. They want to have immunity. They're asking for immunity, and probably at some point they'll be dropping, as you would say, laying down their guns. We'll see what happens. In the meantime, we're just continuing to go forward. Our military is the #1 in the world by far, and we are. Everything's big in my book. Venezuela was big. This is big. The original hit, Midnight Hammer, was big. Everything you view is big, but it's not considered very big by some standards.
Trump then shifted to domestic politics, and the tone changed noticeably. He argued this war would never have happened if the last election had not been, in his view, rigged. He suggested the situation would have unfolded very differently under his continued leadership. He also connected the conflict to border security, claiming that millions of people would not have entered the country under stricter policies. Those comments blended foreign policy with long-standing political grievances, and they are already drawing reaction. Watch this clip.
That has an impact, you know. It really has an impact. It's bad for both. The saddest is that if the election weren't rigged, my election, that war would have never taken place. And you know what else wouldn't have taken place? Allowing 25 million people to pour through an open border. That wouldn't have taken place. A lot of things would have been different. But we're doing very well. And I think a big factor in this world and future factor is what we're doing right now with Iran.
Then came one of his most striking claims of the night. Trump suggested that individuals attempting to rise within Iran's leadership following Khamenei's death are being eliminated before they can consolidate power. He implied that several potential successors are already gone. He hinted at what he called a possible third wave, suggesting internal instability inside Iran could reach a point where it becomes genuinely unclear who is left to lead. Watch this clip. He also...
That could happen. We don't want that to happen. It would probably be the worst. You go through this, and then in 5 years you realize you put somebody in who is no better. So we'd like to see somebody in there that's going to bring it back for the people. And we'll see what happens with the people. You know, they have their chance. We've said don't do it yet. If you're going to go out and protest, don't do it yet. It's very dangerous out there. A lot of bombs are being dropped. But I would say that would be about the worst.
Do you have someone in mind right now? Because you said all the people you did have in mind have been taken out. What do you think?
Well, most of the people we had in mind are dead. So, you know, we had some in mind from that group that is dead. And now we have another group. They may be dead also, based on reports. So I guess you have a third wave coming in. Pretty soon we're not going to know anybody. But we have, I mean, Venezuela was so incredible because we did the attack and we kept government totally intact. And
He also returned to the theme of mass surrenders. Trump claimed that Iranian regime figures are continuing to reach out, calling to surrender, laying down weapons, and in some cases, requesting immunity. He described some of those individuals as people observers would least expect to make that call. Despite all of that, he was unambiguous about operations. They are not pausing. His words, in the meantime, we go forward. Watch this clip. And then
what happens. A lot of people are coming forward. A lot of the people you would least suspect want to quit. They want to have immunity. They're asking for immunity, and probably at some point they'll be dropping, as you would say, laying down their guns. We'll see what happens. In the meantime, we're just continuing to go forward. Our military is the #1 in the world by far, and we are, everything's big in my book. Venezuela was big, this is big, the original hit, Midnight Hammer, was big, everything you view is big, but it's not considered very big by some standards.
And then Trump issued his starkest warning yet. He argued that without U.S. intervention, the world could have been looking at a nuclear war. He claimed Iran would have moved against multiple countries if left unchecked. He used sharp language to describe Iran's leadership, portraying them as dangerous, unstable, and unwilling to stop on their own. In his framing, this was not a war of choice, it was a war of necessity. Now, as with every major claim in a fast-moving conflict, these assertions require verification. Trump's statements represent the administration's position. Independent confirmation of specific details, including the elimination of potential successors and the scale of surrender requests, has not yet been publicly established. What is clear is the posture Washington is projecting. The strikes were deliberate. The threat, the administration says, was real. And the campaign will continue. The risks ahead remain significant. Direct retaliation from whatever remains of Iran's military command, escalation from regional proxy networks, pressure on energy markets and global shipping, and growing questions from international allies about where this ends. Once a conflict reaches this level, the next move, from any direction, can shift everything. We are watching closely and will bring you verified developments as they emerge. Stay with us.